Let's talk about gravity. Ask a elementary school student or a person on the street what they know about gravity, and probably you'll get the short answer. It's what makes things fall down. Fair enough, right? It goes back to some picture we have in our head that we learned in elementary school about Isaac Newton and an apple falling to the ground, and learning that gravity is what makes stuff fall, right? That's true. That's fair. That's a part, at least, of what gravity is all about. But it's deeper than that. It's richer. It's more complicated than just apples falling. In fact, gravity, of course, is not just apples falling to Earth. It's what keeps the Earth going around the sun in this continuing orbit that is part of our daily and yearly routine of days and years. It's what holds the sun together. It's all the mass, the stuff that's there that holds it all together and makes the sun, shine and give off light. Gravity is what, holds us from flying off into outer space. It's what holds the planet itself together. And folks like Einstein have discovered that gravity is woven into everything, the very fabric of space-time itself, and that gravity affects everything from the speed of light to our ability to live on Earth. It's so much richer and deeper and even maybe more mysterious than just saying, oh yeah, gravity, it's what makes apples fall to the ground. I want to suggest that sometimes we do the same thing with Jesus. That we have sort of a shorthand, that we think we know what Jesus has come for or what he's all about. And when you actually ask Jesus, he'll say, well, that's not wrong, but it's so much deeper, so much richer, right? That gravity is so much more than just apples falling and hitting the ground, but has to do with black holes and the cosmos and the universe and life on Earth and the light out of the sun. All those things are gravity at work. And in fact, through us and in us all the time, Jesus' work, Jesus' mission is something so much richer than sort of the shorthand that often we respectable religious folks use for him. Sometimes, you'll hear the shorthand, Jesus came to, save sinners. Jesus came to get people into heaven. Jesus came to give us tickets to the afterlife. That's sort of a shorthand you sometimes hear, where Jesus came so that we can go to heaven after we die. Jesus is mostly interested in the afterlife, that kind of a thing. And to be sure, Jesus is interested in our lives beyond death and bringing life even beyond the grip of death. But that's almost too simplistic. That's almost like saying gravity is only about apples hitting the ground, when, yes, it's that, but so much more everywhere else all the time. In fact, all of our daily lives are lived and made possible because of what gravity is, right? I want to suggest Jesus does the same thing and explodes our understanding of what he's come for when we actually listen to what he has to say about why he's come, what his mission is, and maybe just how wide and deep and full the reign of God that he announces really is. So here's a classic example. The first words we have out of Jesus' mouth in Luke's gospel come from a story where Jesus goes back to his hometown, to the synagogue he probably had grown up going to, hearing rabbis read from the scriptures, hearing other people from his community read and comment and argue and discuss the scriptures. And on this day, Jesus, the starting out fledgling up-and-comer rabbi, comes, and it's his time to get to read from the scriptures and to offer commentary on them. The story goes like this. He comes to Nazareth, where he'd been brought up, went to the synagogue on the Sabbath day, it was his custom. He stood up to read and found the place in the scroll of Isaiah where it said this: "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim release to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to let the oppressed go free, and to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." And he rolled up the scroll, gave it back to the attendant, and sat down. The eyes of all in the synagogue were fixed on him. Then he began to say to them, "Today, this scripture has been fulfilled in your hearing." It's such a beautiful and wide and rich and full picture of what Jesus has come for, isn't it? When we settle for something smaller, something narrow, something shallow, Jesus has come to give us tickets to the afterlife. And I'm sure you've seen pamphlets or billboards or other religious memes out there that give that basic impression. Jesus basically has come to help people go somewhere better when they die. we settle for something so small there. When Jesus himself, when he finally, goes to his own hometown and says, "Let me tell you what I've come for. Let me tell you of all the things I could take as the inaugural address, as all the things I could give you as my mission statement for the world." Here's where Jesus starts, and what he starts with is this vision of helping mend and restore what's broken even right now. There's not a whiff of conversation about afterlife in what Jesus read. Jesus talks about God's work even right here, right now, to mend what's broken, to announce good news for the people who've been stepped on, for the people who have no resources and are treated like they're nobodies, to bring release for those who are held captive, to announce God's year of favor. That's Jubilee language. That's Sabbath year language. That's letting people who were enslaved to something or held captive go free, and canceling debts and restoring what had been lost. That's the kind of thing Jesus says he's come for. That's so much richer and fuller than just Jesus is here as my ticket to get into heaven one day when I die. Jesus is about bringing people more fully to life everywhere. So yes, does that include beyond the grip of death? Yep, absolutely. But it also includes every moment right here and now. Jesus is about the work of freeing people, of restoring people, of mending what's broken in us and between us. And if all we settle for is Jesus is here to help us get somewhere else after we die, my goodness, that's kind of like saying gravity is only about apples and Isaac Newton's head. That's a part of it, but it's an awfully small part of it when there's so much more to be experienced that comes, face to face with everyday life. Every moment's experiences it is about gravity. And every moment of our lives, every experience we step into is also about the reign of God and the mission of Jesus. It's so much richer and fuller and deeper than the shallow sort of cartoon versions we've picked up along the way in school. I want to ask you to dream then with us. As this coming Sunday we gather and explore and think out what would it look like to take Jesus' words seriously here and now among us. If Jesus has come for more than just teaching us the right answers to theology questions we can get somewhere else when we die. If Jesus has come right here and now to take what's broken in us and mend it, and also to help find other people who are struggling or feel like they've been stepped on or left out, and to help lift them up, so that together, all of us can be more fully alive. That's a life that's worth getting excited about. And that means that our faith in Jesus isn't just something that only matters after our last breath. It means that it fills and changes and enriches every moment of our lives now. Maybe it's the very fabric of every moment of existence right here and now in this place. And it means then, if you are going through something where you feel like you're one of those people who's been stepped on, you're one of those people who's being held captive, you're one of those people who just feels like you can't catch a break, you're one of those people who feels broken open and waiting to be healed, waiting for restoration, there's good news for you. And when we look around and see that other people are struggling too, well, we're called to go to them, to announce good news for them, and to be a part of helping them be put back together as well. That's what Jesus is up to. So join us on Sunday as together we explore just how rich and deep and full Jesus' ministry and mission really is. It's something so much bigger than just apples on foreheads. It's about everything in all creation. Come and be a part of that rich, full, exciting experience as God continues to do things right here among us. Like Jesus says, today in your hearing, God is doing something new. God is fulfilling those ancient promises. See you Sunday.